Welcome to Top 5 HQ, the series, exploring the 5 largest countries on Earth. Our world is vast, filled with breathtaking landscapes, thriving civilizations, and untold stories of power and ambition. Throughout history, nations have risen and expanded, shaping the course of humanity. Some of these nations have grown so vast that they span multiple time zones, cross diverse climates, and house millions, sometimes even billions, of people within their borders. In this episode, we embark on an extraordinary journey across the 5 largest countries on Earth. The colossal lands that dominate our planet not just in size, but in history, culture, and influence. These are nations with empires built through conquest, societies shaped by extreme landscapes, and legacies that have left their mark on the world stage. We'll explore the freezing tundras of the north, the sweltering deserts of the south, the forests so vast they seem endless, and the skylines of modern metropolises that touch the clouds. Along the way, we'll uncover the rulers and warriors who expanded these nations into the global powerhouses they are today. The diverse geography, from frozen wastelands to tropical jungles, vast plains to towering mountains. The people and cultures that have flourished in these massive lands, adapting to some of the harshest and most beautiful environments on Earth. The challenges of governing a nation that stretches across continents, and how these countries have balanced unity and diversity within their borders. Each of these nations tells a different story, one of ambition, endurance, and an ongoing quest for power and prosperity. Some have stood the test of time for centuries, while others have rapidly grown into economic and political giants. From the empires of the past to the global superpowers of today, these countries have one thing in common. They have shaped the course of history on a massive scale. And what better place to begin than with the largest country of them all? A land so massive that it spans 2 continents, 11 time zones, and over 1/8 of the Earth's inhabited land. A country that has endured conquests, revolutions, and world-changing events, yet remains one of the most powerful nations on the planet. This is Russia, a nation of frozen tundras, endless forests, towering mountains, and bustling cities. But beyond its sheer size, Russia's history, conquests, and cultural impact make it one of the most fascinating and influential nations in human history. From the legendary rule of Ivan the Terrible to the powerful czars. From the vast landscapes of Siberia to the modern metropolises of Moscow and St. Petersburg. This is the ultimate story of Russia's rise, expansion, and dominance. Join us as we uncover the epic history, stunning landscapes, and incredible legacy of the world's largest country. Russia is not just big, it is enormous. Covering 17,098,242 square kilometers, 6,601,668 mi², it dwarfs every other nation on Earth. To put this immense scale into perspective, you could fit the entire United States inside Russia twice and still have room left over. It is bigger than Pluto. Yes, Russia is physically larger than an entire dwarf planet. It spans 11 time zones, meaning it can be sunrise in one part of Russia and midnight in another at the same time. But it's not just big, it's diverse. Russia is home to the Siberian tundra, a frozen wasteland covering millions of square kilometers. The taiga forest, the largest forest in the world, even bigger than the Amazon. The Caucasus Mountains, home to Europe's tallest peak, Mount Elbrus, 5,642 meters, 18,510 feet. The Volga River, the longest river in Europe, flowing for 3,530 kilometers, 2,194 miles. Russia is a land of contrasts, where frozen landscapes meet vast deserts, where ancient traditions coexist with modern innovations, and where its history has been shaped by war, conquest, and ambition. But how did Russia become so vast? The answer lies in centuries of expansion, empire building, and powerful rulers. The name Russia comes from the medieval state of Kievan Rus, which emerged in the 9th century in what is now Ukraine, Belarus, and Western Russia. It was a time when Viking traders, known as the Varangians, traveled the rivers of Eastern Europe, setting up trade routes between the Baltic and the Byzantine Empire. These Norse warriors mixed with local Slavic tribes, giving birth to Kievan Rus, the first major Eastern Slavic civilization. But this early kingdom would not last forever. In the 13th century, the Mongols invaded, destroying cities and placing Russia under Mongol rule for over 200 years. This period, known as the Golden Horde, delayed Russia's development while much of Europe was experiencing the Renaissance and scientific advancements. However, one city stood strong and began to rise: Moscow. By the 15th century, Moscow's rulers overthrew Mongol rule, and the land we now call Russia began to take shape. This led to the rise of one of the most famous and feared rulers in Russian history, Ivan IV, better known as Ivan the Terrible. Under Ivan the Terrible, 1547 to 1584, Russia transformed from a small kingdom into a massive empire. Ivan expanded Russian borders eastward, conquering the Khanates of Kazan, Astrakhan, and Siberia, marking the beginning of Russia's transformation into the largest land empire in history. However, it was under the reigns of Peter the Great, 1682 to 1725, and Catherine the Great, 1762 to 1796, that Russia truly became a global superpower. Peter the Great modernized Russia, adopting Western European technologies and military tactics. Built St. Petersburg, a grand imperial city known as the Window to the West. Expanded Russia to the Baltic Sea, strengthening its dominance in Europe. Catherine the Great expanded Russia south into the Black Sea region, defeating the Ottoman Empire. Strengthened arts, culture, and philosophy, making Russia a European cultural powerhouse. Established Russia's presence in Alaska and North America, proving its global reach. By the 19th century, Russia had become the largest empire in the world, stretching from Eastern Europe to the Pacific Ocean. One of Russia's most defining geographical features is Siberia, an immense frozen wilderness covering over 13 million square kilometers. It is known for bone-chilling temperatures. Oymyakon, Siberia, can drop to -67 degrees Celsius, -88 degrees Fahrenheit, making it one of the coldest inhabited places on Earth. The vast taiga forest, the largest forest on the planet, home to wolves, bears, and Siberian tigers. The remote wilderness, with vast, untouched landscapes, Siberia remains one of the least populated regions in the world. However, Siberia is also one of Russia's greatest assets, containing massive reserves of oil, gas, coal, and gold, making it vital to Russia's economy. Today, Russia has a population of around 143 million people, concentrated mainly in its European region. Some of its most iconic cities include Moscow, the capital, home to the Kremlin, Red Square, and St. Basil's Cathedral. St. Petersburg, the cultural heart, with imperial palaces, museums, and canals. Novosibirsk and Vladivostok, important hubs in Siberia and the Russian Far East. Russia remains a global superpower, influencing politics, economics, and military affairs worldwide. From the legendary czars to the vast Siberian tundra, Russia is a nation of great power, resilience, and influence. It has seen wars, revolutions, and vast territorial expansions, and yet, it continues to shape the modern world. But Russia is only the beginning. Up next, we travel to the second largest nation on Earth, home to glaciers, forests, and the longest coastline in the world. Stay with us as we continue this epic journey across the biggest nations on Earth. As our journey through the largest nations on Earth continues, we leave behind the vast icy landscapes of Russia and travel across the globe to another land of untamed wilderness, towering mountains, and glacial waters. This is a country that stretches across an entire continent, home to pristine forests, vibrant cities, and some of the most breathtaking landscapes on Earth. A country where winter reigns for much of the year, where the northern lights dance across the sky, and where the spirit of exploration and adventure has shaped its identity. This is Canada, the second largest country on the planet, covering an astonishing 9,984,670 square kilometers, 3,855,100 mi squared. But size alone does not define Canada. It is a nation of stunning diversity, both in its landscapes and its people. From the Arctic tundra of the north to the dense boreal forests, from the Rocky Mountains to the Atlantic coastline, Canada is a land of extremes, beauty, and resilience. But how did this vast nation come to be? How was it shaped by ice, explorers, and indigenous civilizations long before European settlers arrived? How does a country so massive manage to thrive despite its harsh climates and scattered population? Join us as we uncover the incredible story of Canada, a land of history, natural wonders, and boundless adventure. Canada may be the second largest country in the world, but in many ways, it is a land of firsts. It has the longest coastline of any country, stretching over 202,080 kilometers, 125,190 miles. It is home to the world's largest untouched wilderness areas. It has more lakes than any other country on Earth, with over 2 million lakes covering nearly 9% of its landmass. The country experiences some of the coldest temperatures on the planet, with the lowest recorded temperature at -63 degrees Celsius, -81 degrees Fahrenheit, in Snag, Yukon. From the icy Arctic in the north to the temperate rainforests of British Columbia in the west, Canada is a land of stunning natural diversity. The Canadian Shield, an ancient geological formation, makes up nearly half of the country and is one of the oldest rock formations on Earth, dating back billions of years. But how did this enormous land come to be? Let's go back in time to where it all began. Long before European settlers arrived, Canada was home to thriving indigenous nations. Some of these civilizations date back over 12,000 years, with diverse cultures that adapted to Canada's harsh and varied environments. The Inuit of the Arctic mastered survival in one of the most extreme climates on Earth, building igloos, hunting seals, and using sled dogs for transport. The Haida of the Pacific Northwest became expert seafarers, creating intricate totem poles and navigating powerful ocean currents. The Iroquois Confederacy in the east developed complex political systems and large villages protected by wooden palisades. The Plains Cree and Blackfoot of the prairies were master buffalo hunters, living in large teepee settlements. Indigenous cultures were deeply connected to the land, rivers, and forests, living in harmony with Canada's vast wilderness. But this world would change forever with the arrival of European explorers. The first Europeans to reach what is now Canada were the Vikings, led by Leif Erikson, who landed in Newfoundland around the year 1000 AD. However, their settlements were short-lived. It wasn't until the 15th and 16th centuries that European explorers, mainly French and British, began to explore and colonize the region. In 1534, Jacques Cartier, a French explorer, sailed into the St. Lawrence River and claimed the land for France. By the 1600s, Samuel de Champlain established Quebec City, laying the foundations for what would become New France. Meanwhile, the British established colonies along the Atlantic, leading to centuries of rivalry between France and Britain over control of the land. This conflict culminated in the 7 Years' War, 1756 to 1763, where Britain defeated France, taking control of Canada. The Treaty of Paris officially handed Canada to Britain, forever changing the country's future. But even under British rule, Canada was still a vast, wild land, sparsely populated and largely unexplored. It would take another century before Canada truly became the country we know today. On July 1, 1867, Canada officially became a country through Confederation, joining together 4 provinces: Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia, to form the Dominion of Canada. Over time, Canada expanded westward, purchasing land from the Hudson's Bay Company and negotiating with Indigenous nations. The construction of the Canadian Pacific Railway, completed in 1885, connected the country from coast to coast, allowing for massive migration westward. By the 20th century, Canada's rich natural resources, forests, minerals, and oil, helped drive its economy and industrialization. Today, Canada is made up of 10 provinces and 3 territories, stretching from the Pacific to the Atlantic to the Arctic Ocean. Despite its modern cities and technological advancements, Canada remains a country defined by its wilderness and natural beauty. The Rocky Mountains dominate the West, home to majestic peaks, glaciers, and some of the best skiing in the world. Niagara Falls, one of the most famous waterfalls on Earth, straddles the Canada-US border, drawing millions of visitors. The Arctic tundra, one of the coldest places on the planet, is home to polar bears, narwhals, and caribou. The Great Lakes, the largest group of freshwater lakes in the world, are vital to Canada's ecosystem and economy. Canada is also a country of extreme seasons. Winters can be brutally cold, with cities like Winnipeg experiencing temperatures as low as -40 degrees Celsius, -40 degrees Fahrenheit. Yet in the summer, places like Toronto and Montreal can reach 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Fahrenheit, or more. With a population of just over 38 million people, Canada may be large in size, but it remains one of the least densely populated nations. Today, it is known for multicultural cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal, home to people from all over the world. A strong economy, fueled by natural resources, technology, and global trade. One of the highest standards of living in the world. Despite its vast and often unforgiving landscape, Canada has become a global leader in diplomacy, environmental conservation, and innovation. From its ancient indigenous civilizations to the fur trade and European exploration. From the birth of a nation to its modern influence on the world, Canada's story is one of resilience, vast beauty, and adventure. But our journey is far from over. Our next stop, the United States of America. A land of limitless ambition, breathtaking landscapes, and a history of revolution, innovation, and power. A country where towering mountains, endless plains, and dense forests stretch across a vast continent. A nation that has shaped the modern world with its influence, industry, and ideals of freedom. This is the United States of America, a country spanning 9,525,067 square kilometers, 3,677,649 mi squared, making it the 3rd largest nation on Earth. From the frozen wilderness of Alaska to the sun-drenched beaches of Florida. From the deserts of Arizona to the towering peaks of the Rockies. The United States is a land of diverse landscapes, diverse cultures, and an enduring spirit of exploration and independence. But before it became the global superpower we know today, this land was home to thriving indigenous civilizations, European explorers, and revolutionary leaders who fought for a new kind of nation. How did this vast land come to be? What events shaped its borders, its people, and its place in the world? Join us as we uncover the incredible history, breathtaking geography, and enduring legacy of the United States of America. The United States is often referred to as a land of opportunity, but it could just as easily be called a land of extremes. Few countries in the world offer such staggering diversity in climate, geography, and natural beauty. The Grand Canyon, one of the world's greatest natural wonders, carved over millions of years by the Colorado River. Yellowstone National Park, home to the largest active supervolcano on the continent. The Great Plains, a seemingly endless stretch of prairies and rolling farmland. The Rocky Mountains, rising like jagged spines through the heart of the continent. The Florida Everglades, a vast tropical wetland teeming with wildlife. And beyond the mainland, the U.S. has Alaska, a land of glaciers, grizzly bears, and untamed wilderness, and Hawaii, a paradise of volcanic islands and lush rainforests in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. This incredible diversity helped shape the people, the economy, and the culture of America, creating a nation unlike any other. Long before the arrival of European settlers, North America was home to millions of indigenous peoples, with civilizations stretching back over 15,000 years. Some of the greatest indigenous cultures included the ancestral Puebloans, who built cliffside cities in the American Southwest, such as Mesa Verde. The Mississippian culture, which built vast mound cities, including Cahokia, the largest pre-Columbian settlement in North America. The Iroquois Confederacy, an alliance of powerful tribes in the Northeast, known for their advanced political systems. The Plains tribes, such as the Sioux, Comanche, and Cheyenne, who thrived as buffalo hunters and warriors. These indigenous nations had rich cultures, spiritual beliefs, and sophisticated trade networks. However, their world would be forever changed with the arrival of European explorers. The first Europeans to explore North America were the Norse Vikings, led by Leif Erikson, who landed in modern-day Newfoundland around the year 1000 AD. But it was the late 15th and 16th centuries that brought the Spanish, French, and British explorers who sought to claim the land. 1492, Christopher Columbus reaches the Caribbean, paving the way for European colonization. 1513, Juan Ponce de Leon claims Florida for Spain. 1607, the English established Jamestown, the first permanent settlement. 1620, the Pilgrims land at Plymouth Rock, beginning the spread of British colonies. The Spanish controlled much of the Southwest and Florida. The French explored Canada and the Mississippi River, and the British built colonies along the East Coast, laying the foundations for what would become the United States of America. By the mid-1700s, the 13 British colonies in North America had grown into thriving settlements. However, tensions between the colonies and the British Crown over taxation, governance, and representation erupted into war. 1775, the American Revolution begins with the battles of Lexington and Concord. 1776, the Declaration of Independence is signed on July 4, proclaiming the United States as a free nation. 1781, the British surrender at Yorktown, marking the end of major conflict. 1787, the U.S. Constitution is drafted, establishing a new democratic government. After 8 years of war, the United States became the first modern democracy, with a government built on liberty, justice, and the pursuit of happiness. But the newly formed nation was still small, and its leaders had big ambitions. Following independence, the United States rapidly expanded westward, acquiring new territories through purchases, treaties, and conflicts. 1803, the Louisiana Purchase doubles the size of the U.S., bought from France. 1845 to 1848, the U.S. annexes Texas, wins the Mexican-American War, and gains California, Arizona, and the Southwest. 1867, the U.S. buys Alaska from Russia for $7.2 million, later found to be rich in oil and gold. The Transcontinental Railroad, completed in 1869, connected the country from east to west, making travel and trade easier than ever before. By the 20th century, the U.S. had become an economic and military powerhouse. World War I and II, the U.S. played a major role in defeating global threats and emerged as a superpower. The space race. In 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first man on the moon, proving America's dominance in space exploration. The Civil Rights Movement. Leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. helped push for equality, reshaping American society. The digital revolution. The U.S. became a leader in technology, science, and innovation, from the internet to Silicon Valley. With a population of over 330 million people, the United States is one of the most influential countries in the world, shaping global politics, economy, and culture. Major cities: New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, Miami. Economic power: home to Wall Street, Hollywood, and Silicon Valley. Military strength: the most powerful armed forces on Earth. Cultural influence: music, movies, sports, fashion. The U.S. influences the world. Despite its challenges, America remains a land of opportunity, ambition, and endless possibilities. From its indigenous civilizations to European explorers, from revolutionaries to modern pioneers, the story of the United States is one of bold ambition, struggle, and triumph. But the journey isn't over. Up next, we travel to the fourth largest nation on Earth. China, the fourth largest country on Earth and the cradle of an ancient civilization. As we continue our journey through the world's largest nations, we now arrive in a land of dynasties, warriors, and groundbreaking innovation. A country where great emperors once ruled vast empires, where ancient philosophies shaped the world, and where modern supercities now stand as symbols of rapid progress. This is China, a nation that spans 9,596,961 square kilometers, 3,705,407 mi squared, making it the fourth largest country on Earth. But beyond its massive landmass, China is a country of immense cultural and historical depth, home to one of the oldest continuous civilizations on the planet. From the towering Himalayas in the west to the lush rainforests of the south. From the dry deserts of the north to the bustling megacities of the east, China is a land of astonishing diversity and complexity. It is a country that has endured the rise and fall of dynasties, conquests, revolutions, and global transformations. Yet it remains one of the most powerful and influential nations in the world today. But how did this great empire come to be? How did a land ruled by emperors evolve into a modern superpower? Join us as we uncover the rich history, vast landscapes, and enduring legacy of China, the land of dragons, silk, and ambition. China's sheer size allows for an incredible variety of landscapes. The Himalayas, home to Mount Everest, the tallest mountain on Earth. The Gobi Desert, a harsh and unforgiving expanse of sand and rock. The Yangtze and Yellow Rivers, the lifelines of Chinese civilization for thousands of years. The karst mountains of Guilin, known for their breathtaking, otherworldly beauty. The dense bamboo forests of Sichuan, home to the giant panda. The metropolitan skylines of Shanghai, Beijing, and Shenzhen, symbols of modern progress. China is also home to the largest population in the world. With over 1.4 billion people living in rural villages, ancient towns, and some of the most advanced cities on the planet. But before China became the economic powerhouse it is today, it was once a collection of warring states, ruled by emperors and shaped by philosophy, war, and the pursuit of unity. The origins of Chinese civilization stretch back over 5,000 years, with the first recorded dynasties emerging along the Yellow River Valley. The Xia dynasty, 2070 to 1600 BC, is considered China's first dynasty, though much of its history remains a mystery. The Shang dynasty, 1600 to 1046 BC, introduced written records, bronze casting, and an early form of Chinese culture. The Zhou dynasty, 1046 to 256 BC, gave birth to Confucianism and Taoism, two philosophies that still influence China today. But China as we know it began to take shape under one of the most powerful leaders in history. A man who would unify the warring states and create the first true Chinese empire. In 221 BC, Qin Shi Huang, a ruthless and ambitious ruler, declared himself the first emperor of China. His rule was one of military conquest, centralized power, and vast engineering projects, including the unification of China, ending centuries of war between rival kingdoms, the construction of the Great Wall, to defend against invading nomadic tribes, the Terracotta Army, thousands of life-size statues buried with him to protect him in the afterlife. The Qin dynasty was short-lived, but it laid the foundation for the great empires that followed, including the Han dynasty, 206 BC to 220 AD, which expanded China's territory, established Silk Road trade routes and became a golden age of Chinese culture and technology. For over 2,000 years, China would be ruled by emperors from dynasty after dynasty, shaping one of the most advanced civilizations of the ancient world. During the Han dynasty, China became the center of one of the greatest trade routes in history, the Silk Road. Chinese silk, tea, and spices were highly sought after in Europe and the Middle East. Caravans of traders, scholars, and explorers traveled thousands of miles between China and Rome. This trade route led to cultural exchange, introducing Buddhism, mathematics, and art to China. The Tang, 618 to 907 AD, and Song, 960 to 1279 AD, dynasties saw tremendous advancements in science, medicine, engineering, and art, making China one of the most advanced societies in the world. But despite its power, China would eventually face foreign invasions that would change its history forever. In 1279, China was conquered by Genghis Khan's Mongol Empire, becoming part of the largest land empire in history. His grandson, Kublai Khan, established the Yuan dynasty, ruling China from his grand capital in Beijing. After nearly a century under Mongol rule, the Chinese revolted, leading to the rise of the Ming dynasty, 1368 to 1644. The Ming dynasty restored Chinese traditions, built the Forbidden City, and expanded the Great Wall. But as the world entered the modern age, China faced new challenges from the West. By the 19th century, European powers, especially Britain and France, sought to exploit China's wealth and resources. This led to the Opium Wars, 1839 to 1860, which resulted in China losing Hong Kong to Britain. The fall of the Qing dynasty, 1912, ending thousands of years of imperial rule. In the 20th century, China went through a long period of war, revolution, and change, leading to the formation of the People's Republic of China in 1949, under Mao Zedong. In just a few decades, China has transformed from a primarily agricultural society into one of the most powerful nations in the world. Beijing and Shanghai have become global megacities. China leads the world in manufacturing, trade, and technology. It has built the largest high-speed rail network on Earth. The Three Gorges Dam is the largest hydroelectric project in history. China remains a global force, shaping economics, science, and geopolitics in the 21st century. From the Great Wall to the Silk Road, from ancient dynasties to modern supercities, China's history, innovations, and culture have shaped the world as we know it. But our journey is not over yet. Up next, we travel to the fifth largest nation on Earth. As our journey across the world's largest nations reaches its final destination, we leave behind the ancient civilizations of China and travel to a land of untamed jungles, golden beaches, and vibrant culture. A place where towering rainforests meet bustling cities, where exotic wildlife thrives, and where the rhythm of life pulses through every street, festival, and football match. This is Brazil, a land of rich history, breathtaking landscapes, and an undeniable energy. Covering 8,515,767 square kilometers, 3,287,956 mi squared, Brazil is the largest country in South America, spanning almost half of the continent. It is home to the Amazon rainforest, the Amazon River, and some of the most biodiverse ecosystems on Earth. But Brazil's story is not just one of natural beauty. It is a story of indigenous civilizations, European explorers, colonial empires, and modern-day triumphs. How did this vast and vibrant country come to be? What forces shaped its culture, its people, and its place in the world? Join us as we uncover the epic history, stunning landscapes, and incredible legacy of Brazil, a nation that captures the spirit of South America like no other. Brazil's immense size means it is home to some of the most diverse landscapes on Earth. The Amazon rainforest, covering nearly 60% of Brazil, is often called the lungs of the Earth, producing 20% of the world's oxygen. The Amazon River, the second longest river on Earth, stretches over 7,000 kilometers, 4,350 miles, with thousands of tributaries feeding the jungle. The Pantanal, the largest tropical wetland in the world, home to jaguars, caimans, and capybaras. The Iguaçu Falls, one of the most breathtaking waterfall systems in the world, straddling Brazil and Argentina. The Atlantic coast, stretching over 7,400 kilometers, 4,600 miles, filled with stunning beaches, iconic cities, and tropical resorts. The Brazilian highlands, covering the central and eastern regions, where mountains, plateaus, and rivers define the landscape. But before Brazil became a nation known for its culture, football, and carnival, it was home to indigenous civilizations that thrived for thousands of years. Long before European explorers arrived, Brazil was inhabited by millions of indigenous people, living in complex societies across the rainforest, mountains, and coastal regions. The Tupi-Guarani were one of the largest groups, known for their fishing, agriculture, and warfare. The Yanomami, deep in the Amazon, lived as hunter-gatherers, existing in harmony with the jungle. The Kayapo and Xingu tribes built elaborate communal villages and had deep spiritual traditions. Indigenous civilizations thrived in Brazil for thousands of years, living in harmony with nature and developing rich oral traditions, medicinal knowledge, and sustainable ways of life. But in the 1500s, their world changed forever. In 1500, Pedro Álvares Cabral, a Portuguese explorer, landed on the shores of Brazil, claiming the land for Portugal. Unlike the Spanish colonies that spread across much of South America, Brazil would remain a Portuguese territory for over 300 years. The Portuguese established sugarcane plantations along the coast, fueling Brazil's economy. Large numbers of African slaves were brought to Brazil, making it one of the largest slave economies in the world. The rich forests of Brazil produced valuable goods such as timber, gold, and rubber. By the 18th century, Brazil had become one of the wealthiest colonies in the Americas. But tensions between colonial rule and local elites began to grow. As revolutions spread across the Americas in the early 19th century, Brazil found itself on the path to independence. But unlike many other nations, its independence did not come through war. Instead, it was a political shift led by one man, Dom Pedro I. In 1822, Dom Pedro I, the son of Portugal's king, declared Brazil independent, proclaiming himself Emperor of Brazil. Brazil became a constitutional monarchy, with Dom Pedro I and later Dom Pedro II ruling the vast nation. The economy boomed, fueled by coffee, rubber, and gold, making Brazil one of the strongest nations in South America. However, by the late 19th century, Brazil's monarchy collapsed, and in 1889, the country became a republic, beginning a new era of democracy, modernization, and rapid growth. By the 20th century, Brazil was on a path of transformation, moving from an agricultural economy to one of the world's largest industrial powers. São Paulo and Rio de Janeiro became economic hubs, filled with factories, businesses, and cultural institutions. The construction of Brasilia, the new futuristic capital, symbolized Brazil's ambition to modernize. Football became a national obsession, with players like Pelé turning Brazil into the world's greatest football nation. The annual Carnival of Rio de Janeiro became one of the most famous festivals on earth, attracting millions. However, Brazil also faced political turmoil, economic crises, and environmental challenges. Particularly in the Amazon rainforest, where deforestation threatens the world's largest ecosystem. Today, Brazil is a rising global power, known for its diverse culture, natural beauty, and growing economy. From the Amazon rainforest to the bustling streets of São Paulo. From indigenous traditions to modern skyscrapers, Brazil is a land of contrasts, resilience, and vibrant culture. Its journey, from a Portuguese colony to a republic, from an agricultural empire to a global economic force, is a testament to its people, its land, and its enduring spirit. And with that, we conclude our journey through the 5 largest countries on Earth: Russia, Canada, the United States, China, and Brazil. Each a world within a world, vast in size, rich in culture, and monumental in influence. These nations have shaped the course of history, driven global advancements, and forged civilizations that continue to define the modern era. From the frozen frontiers of Siberia to the tropical depths of the Amazon, from the Great Wall of China to the towering skyscrapers of New York, each of these lands tells a story of power, resilience, and transformation. Yet, as we stand in awe of these massive nations, we must remember, the world is far bigger than we can imagine. There are still countless regions, lost cities, hidden wonders, and civilizations yet to be explored. From the rise and fall of empires to the mysteries buried beneath our feet, the stories of our planet are endless. And so, we leave you with a question: where should we go next? Should we uncover the most powerful ancient civilizations? Explore the smallest nations with the biggest impact? Or perhaps dive into the forgotten kingdoms of history? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your ideas could shape our next adventure. And remember, this is just the beginning. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Top 5 HQ, the series so you never miss another thrilling journey through history, geography, and the wonders of our world. Stay curious, stay inspired, and we'll see you in the next adventure.